The 1970s were a time of vibrant change and individuality, and weddings were no exception. Back then, couples threw traditions out the window, opting for bold, memorable choices that made their special day truly unique. Today, we're diving into 15 wedding trends from the 70s that you hardly ever see anymore. Make sure you stick around till the end, because some of these may just surprise you. Earthy, boho weddings, going green before it was cool. In the 70s, nature-inspired earthy weddings were the ultimate way to say I do. Couples chose outdoor locations, often in woodsy areas or wildflower meadows, decorated with flowers, plants, and natural textures. Wedding attire and decor were rustic and organic, with brides donning flower crowns and bridesmaids carrying baskets of wildflowers. These weddings weren't just trendy. They reflected a spirit of eco-consciousness and peace that resonated with the 70s vibe. Bell-sleeved wedding dresses, dramatic elegance forget strapless or sleeveless. In the 70s, bridal fashion was all about dramatic bell sleeves. The wider, the better. Brides walked down the aisle with sleeves that flowed and flared, often adorned with lace or embroidery. These dresses were beautiful, ethereal, and perfectly in line with the era's fascination with flowing, free-spirited designs. Today, bell sleeves are a rare sight in bridal fashion, but in the 70s, they were a major style statement. Grooms in ruffled shirts, bringing color to the altar. Who says brides get to have all the fun with fashion? In the 70s, grooms embraced style too, donning ruffled shirts and even experimenting with pastel-colored suits. Shades like powder blue, soft pink, and even lavender were popular choices, adding a pop of color to the traditional tux. It was a playful touch that suited the decade's love of bold, expressive style. Macrame decorations, bohemian beauty. Macrame wasn't just a trend in home decor, it found its way into wedding decor too. From macrame ceremony backdrops to intricate table runners and wall hangings, couples used this knotting technique to add texture and bohemian charm to their wedding day. The result was a cozy, intimate vibe that felt less formal and more free-spirited, just what 70s couples were looking for. Casual venues, backyard weddings before they were trendy. While big weddings and fancy venues were always an option, many 70s couples opted for a more relaxed setting. Backyard weddings were popular, allowing couples to create a personal, laid-back atmosphere. These weddings were intimate, inviting guests to celebrate in a familiar and comfortable space. It wasn't about grandeur, it was about love, laughter, and closeness. Flower crowns, a bride's crown of nature. If there's one accessory that screams 70s, it's the flower crown. Brides would weave fresh flowers into crowns, creating a look that was both natural and enchanting. This tradition symbolized purity and love, and it allowed brides to incorporate nature directly into their look. Today, flower crowns are sometimes seen at boho-themed weddings, but back in the 70s, they were practically a bridal essential. His and hers matching outfits, coordinating the couple's look. Some couples took matching to the next level with coordinated wedding outfits. Bridesmaids and groomsmen, and even the bride and groom themselves would dress in complementary colors and patterns, creating a fun, cohesive look for the entire wedding party. This trend was all about unity and harmony, and it made for some pretty memorable wedding photos. Ceremonial circles, standing in a circle of loved ones. In the spirit of community, some 70s couples opted to stand in a circle surrounded by their guests during the ceremony. This arrangement symbolized unity and equality, putting the couple and their loved ones on the same level. The circle added an intimate, symbolic touch that made the ceremony feel warm and connected, an alternative to the more traditional aisle-focused setup. Platform shoes, bringing height and style. Not just for the disco, brides and bridesmaids often wore platform shoes, adding both height and a splash of 70s style. Paired with flowing gowns, these shoes gave wedding attire an extra touch of flair. Platform shoes may have been unconventional, but they made each bride feel a bit taller and a whole lot groovier. Polaroid guest books, instant wedding memories. Long before smartphones, Polaroid cameras allowed wedding guests to capture the moment instantly. Polaroid guest books were popular, where guests would snap a photo, jot down a message, and add it to the book. These wedding albums were unique keepsakes, capturing guests in real time with instant mementos of laughter, love, and celebration. Non-traditional wedding rings, making it personal. Many 70s couples went against the grain with their choice of wedding rings, opting for something unique and meaningful. Wood, braided bands, and unusual gemstones like turquoise or opal replaced the classic gold or diamond bands. Each couple chose rings that held personal significance, showcasing their love in a way that was completely their own. Unity Sand Ceremony, a twist on Unity candles. While Unity candles are still used today, in the 70s, couples often used colored sand to symbolize the joining of their lives. Each person would pour their sand into a single container, creating a beautiful, layered piece that represented their union. Unlike candles, which eventually burn out, the sand art was something couples could keep as a lifelong reminder of their wedding day. Caravans and vintage vans. Unique wedding day rides. Why settle for a limo when you could arrive in style in a retro van or colorful caravan? This quirky tradition was a hit among 70s couples, especially those with a love for travel and adventure. Often decked out with flowers and ribbons, these vehicles weren't just transportation. They were part of the day's decor and vibe. Hand-fasting rituals, tying the knot, literally. Some 70s couples took the phrase tying the knot quite literally with a hand-fasting ritual. This tradition involved binding the couple's hands together with ribbons or cords, symbolizing their commitment to each other. Hand-fasting has roots in ancient Celtic ceremonies, but in the 70s, it was adopted as a beautiful, alternative ritual that signified love, unity, and lifelong commitment. Natural wedding cakes, less icing, more nature. Forget intricate icing and towering layers. In the 70s, many couples opted for simple, naked cakes decorated with fresh flowers and fruit. These cakes were both rustic and elegant, a sweet nod to the natural themes that dominated 70s weddings. The less is more approach was perfect for couples who wanted their cake to reflect the laid-back, earthy vibe of the decade. From earthy themes to coordinated outfits, these unique 1970s wedding trends gave each celebration a special, unforgettable touch. While many of these customs have faded with time, they remain a nostalgic reminder of a decade that celebrated individuality, creativity, and love in its own groovy way. Which of these traditions would you love to bring back? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trips down memory lane. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.